o'clock here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I know we have got a lot of people joining us from the East Coast, so it's already 10 o'clock out there, so it's getting kind of late. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Ryan Hinton. I'm an independent diamond distributor with Advocare, located here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story later. But what you're getting ready to watch is a quick 30-minute overview of Advocare, and I'm going to hit it from all perspectives and all angles. We're going to talk a little bit about our company, our background, and who we are. We're going to talk a little bit about the products as well, focusing specifically on something called the 24-day challenge. And we're also going to talk about the business opportunity associated with Advocare. And all those things we are going to try to cover in the next 30 minutes and give you a little bit of an overview and hopefully whet your appetite so that you can follow up with the person that invited you to this call and hear a little bit more if there's something that catches your attention. So, okay, who are we? What do we do? Advocare has been around for over 21 years now. And we are literally the fastest growing company in America right now that's over $100 million because we provide solutions to two key areas for America with regards to health and finances. And when it comes to health, I think we all know what kind of epidemic we're dealing with these days. By the year 2030, half of all Americans are expected to be technically obese. So on the health side, we're working with people to help help lose weight and feel more energetic. And we're going to talk a little bit about our sports performance products later as well. And then also on the financial side, I actually just saw an article today in the Wall Street Journal that said half of all Americans would have a hard time paying off an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing money or selling something. Half of all Americans could not cover an unanticipated $400 expense. And quite honestly, that's just sad. But that's one of the reasons why Advocare is doing so well, because we are the fastest growing company in America, and we give people the opportunity to improve their financial situation if that's something that they're looking for. So, all right, so let's start to dig into a little bit about who we are, kind of how these products are made. Our products are backed by over 250 years of science, and I'm not going to go through the biographies of every single one of the members of our SciMed board, but you can scan the screen and you can see that their credentials are impeccable. You're going to see the University of California, Davis with Carl Keene. You've got Stanley Dedrick, who has literally trained over 6,000 surgeons, actually has wings of hospitals named after him. And then you got in the middle, you've got William J. Kramer. The Lifetime Achievement Award for the National Strength and Conditioning Association is actually called the William J. Kramer Award. So those are the people that are creating the products and assuring all of us that the products are going to do what they say they do. And who's advising them? You know, who's helping them? Who's giving them some guidance and direction? That's where the Advocare Sports Advisory Council comes into play. And obviously sports performance and wellness and fitness is a large part of Advocare. And you can see as you scan the screen here, we have performance coaches from the University of Kentucky, like Eric Corum, University of South Carolina, USC, with Ivan Lewis. We've got Eric Lichter, who is actually a former strength and conditioning coach at Ohio State. And you can see the other universities on there, like Kansas, Texas A&M, Kevin Yoxel, formerly of Auburn University, who is now the strength and conditioning coach at Rice University. So again, just a great wealth of knowledge advising the SciMed board on what products they should be formulating and using. And that leads to our endorsers. We have well over 100 endorsers that are using Advocare products. Representatives I should say, every NFL locker room, including Jake Locker right here in Nashville with the Tennessee Titans. And you can see there on the screen, University of Tennessee alum and Dallas Cowboy all-time leading receiver, Jason Witten. And then you've got four-time CrossFit champion, Rich Froning, as well. He's been using products for over 3 years. He said his former professor and his coach actually got him introduced to Spark over 3 years ago, and the rest is history. Now he's using Spark to help fuel him to what has been now 4 straight CrossFit championships. He is known as literally the world's fittest man, Rich Froning. And then, of course, we've got Drew Brees. Drew is actually our national spokesperson. I have to admit, when I found out that Drew Brees was involved, that's something that really caught my attention because I know what an impeccable man of character he is. And not to mention, he's a Purdue Boilermaker, which is where I went to school. So I felt a little kinship with Drew and Advocare. So I was thrilled that he was part of this organization. And I was even more impressed when I found out that he had been just a product endorser for over 8 years until the Saints won the Super Bowl 4 years ago. And then he came back to Advocare and said, I want a larger role with your organization. And that's when he became our national spokesperson. And that even leads us up to today. When I start to talk about new products and kind of what drives this company, Drew has literally overseen the development of his own product line within Advocare. He has just come out with the second product, the second sports performance product. It's in the upper left-hand corner. It's the Advocare Nutrition Bar. It's got 12 grams of plant-based protein and 5 grams of fiber. And not to mention, it's just plain good. It's caramel almond flavor, and we're already starting to fight over them here in the Hinton household. I've got to hide them from my 9-year-old son, who just thinks it's cool to eat a Drew Brees bar. And by the way, it's also really, really good. And then I'm going to mention, too, we just came out with a brand new product line, SYS, Supplement Your Skin. And, you know, I'm going to be just totally transparent here. This is something that I am not overly familiar with, but I can guarantee you that from a business perspective, I am absolutely educating myself very quickly on these skincare products that have just come out. For those of you that are curious about the business side of Advocare, skincare itself is a $57 billion industry. $57 billion industry just with skincare products alone. And so Advocare has been focused for over 20 years on making all of us healthier on the inside. And now they're starting to focus on our largest organ, all right, our skin. So we're not only going to be healthy on the inside, but also radiant on the outside. Now, what are we doing? And I'm going to talk a little bit later about how quickly we have grown in the last 5 or 6 years. And a lot of that's because of what we're doing from a marketing, a branding, awareness perspective. And quite honestly, we are coming up on one of our busiest seasons of the year, and that's the football season. And you can tell what's on your screen right now, Advocare is getting ready to sponsor 2 kickoff classics. And I got to admit, as a lifelong sports fan, this kind of stuff gets me fired up. I mean, I've loved football, baseball, basketball for years. It's kind of what I've grown up with and lived with my whole life. And now my company, my organization is actually sponsoring college football games. We started sponsoring the Independence Bowl in 2009, and now we sponsor 2 Advocare kickoff classics on August the 30th. And you can see these are big games, guys. We've got LSU, Wisconsin, Florida State, Oklahoma State, going to be aired on ESPN, and our name and our brand and our logo is going to be all over the field and the stadium. And then a month later, we're sponsoring the Advocare Cowboy Showdown, featuring the University of Texas Longhorns and the UCLA Bruins. Again, massive exposure. And then on the right-hand side, we have got Trevor Bayne from right here in Tennessee, one of the youngest winners of the Daytona 500 ever, has been driving the number 6 car on the Nationwide Series this year. Next year, he's taking that to the Sprint Cup. And from a NASCAR perspective, it doesn't get any better than the Sprint Cup Series. And we are going to have a 6, the number 6 car with the Advocare logo all over it, being driven in 38 different races. And then I'm going to hone in on that middle picture for a second. We are going to be advertising on 11 different TV stations, TV channels, I should say, over the course of this fall. So just massive, massive exposure, branding, and awareness for anybody that's interested in Advocare. And that's going to be great for all of us that are franchise owners. Now, let's focus in on the products a little bit. Kind of what do they do? Why is this company so great? Why is everybody hearing about it? Why are we all over the place? Let me give you a couple of examples first. This is my good friend Shelby Andall. I used to work with Shelby, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But Shelby is someone that I knew could benefit from our products tremendously. You can see her before and after pictures here, and what I love, quite honestly, about these pictures is just kind of the attitude that you can see in her face. She just looks so much happier and radiant and alive. Not only has she lost over 115 pounds, but she's also lost a total of 60 inches. And she started with the 24-day challenge. She continued on maintenance products, and she has just had tremendous results. And because of Shelby's results, that spread. And that spread throughout her family. Here's her mom, Susan, who's lost, actually, the slide is a little out of date. Her mom, Susan, has now lost over 50 pounds. And her dad, they used to call him Big Rick, and I'm not so sure they can call him that anymore, has actually lost over 70 pounds. So that's her mom and her dad. Not to mention the fact that her husband lost over 50 pounds, her brother lost close to 40 pounds, and so the entire family has lost well over 300 pounds. It has absolutely changed their life. And not to mention that, but because of Shelby's results, it started to spread quickly to her friends, outside of her family. This is her good friend, Kaylin Cassidy. Kaylin is a college cheerleader. And you can see she was in great physical shape to begin with. In the upper left-hand corner, that's her day 1 photo. Upper right-hand corner is day 10. Bottom left-hand is day 14. And then down the bottom right, you've got day 1 compared to day 24. And this is just a great example of how Advocare and the 24-day challenge itself is not just a weight loss program. As a matter of fact, it's really not a diet program. I'm going to explain that in a second. But Kaylin didn't need to lose a whole lot of weight. She only lost a couple of pounds during the 24-day challenge, but she lost over 20 inches. And that's why she's gotten so much definition in terms of her six-pack, and she just is lighter, leaner, and more athletic for her cheerleading competitions and what she's doing from a cheerleading perspective. So those are some of the results. How did those people achieve those results? What were they doing? That's the 24-day challenge. I like to refer to the 24-day challenge as basically a nutritional springboard for whatever it is you want to achieve physically. You can see here on the screen, there's not a lot of products involved, and I actually like to emphasize the fact that this is very much an eating program. You're going to eat a very well-balanced diet. You're going to eat lean proteins like fish, chicken, turkey. You're going to eat complex carbohydrates, okay? Complex carbohydrates are good for you. That's energy for your body. We want you to eat those. Sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa, oatmeal. We want you to eat a very well-balanced, healthy diet. And then also lots of fruits and lots of vegetables. And you're going to get a coach to help walk you through this. But when you eat those foods in concert together at the right times, you're actually going to increase your body's natural ability to burn calories. And you're going to raise your metabolic level. And as your body's looking to burn calories, we're going to provide you with some products that are actually going to feed your lean muscle tissue, so that while your body's looking for this extra source of caloric burn, it's going to pull it from your fat stores as opposed to your lean muscle tissue. And you can see there at the top of the screen, there's something called the Herbal Cleanse. All right, guys, the first 10 days is a cleanse process. Very gentle, very uneventful. Okay, cleanse is not a dirty word, and that's a good thing. You're literally going to take an Herbal Cleanse tablet when you go to bed at night that's going to break up all the junk and the gunk in your system. There's a fiber supplement in there to help move everything out. And as you get the bad, I'll say bad bacteria out and the bad fats, we're going to give you a great probiotic to make sure you've got the right digestive enzymes in there. And then we're also going to give you the Omegaplex, which is a very healthy, high-quality fatty acid for every cell in your body. And while you're going through, and that's cleanse, it's not overly complicated. And like I said, you're eating a well-balanced, nutritious diet at the same time. But while you're doing that, you're using Spark. Sparks are a sugar-free energy drink. It's mental clarity. It replaced a 2-pot of coffee a day habit for me. All right, it's loaded with amino acids and over 21 vitamins and minerals. It's awesome. I literally drink the orange hot in the morning, almost like it's a cup of coffee. And it tastes better. I know it's better for me. It makes me feel good and gives me mental clarity for the rest of the morning. I'm good to go. Now, those are the first 10 days. As you get on day 11 and you march through day 11 through day 24, that's what we refer to as the MNS phase, the metabolic nutrition system. Okay, during that phase, you're essentially taking a multivitamin strip pack throughout the course of the morning. So literally those first 10 days, you're just kind of cleaning out your gas tank is really what you're doing. And then the last 14 days, you're putting high octane fuel back in there. And that's when you're really going to start to feel good and you're really going to start to take off. And there are meal replacement shakes that come along with this. This is not a shake program. I want to emphasize that. But as people are rushing out the door for breakfast, or if lunch is hard for you to get while you're at work, this meal replacement shake's got 24 grams of protein, carbs, and quite honestly, it tastes very, very good. So when you're in a pinch and time is of the essence, meal replacement shakes are available for you. So that's the 24-day challenge in a nutshell, guys. Again, it's not complicated. It's very easy to follow. It's extremely effective. Everybody that I showed you on those previous slides started with the 24-day challenge, and then they continued into some form of maintenance phase. And this is where we really get to customize this for you, and where your coach in Advocare is going to come in handy. What I've got on the screen now in front of you is the entire weight management timeline. Obviously you're not going to need to take every single product, but there are products on here that your coach can work with you with to help you customize your program and help you achieve your long-term goals and objectives. So there's products on here that will help with appetite control, and there's products on here that will actually help with portion control. And again, your coach can walk you through the specifics. I just wanted to show you a slide just to kind of show you what's available and what's out there. So now, I mentioned earlier, you've got Drew Brees, we've got all the sports performance products. I just kind of walked through some of the weight management programs, or products, I should say, and the programs that are available. There's also an entire array of just absolutely phenomenal sports performance products. I showed you all the strength and conditioning coaches earlier, and we've got a whole stable of professional athletes in every sport that are using these products. I mentioned Drew Brees coming out with his own signature line of products. All of the Performance Elite line products are independently tested by a third-party laboratory. That's why we know that they're safe and they're healthy and they're effective. That's why the NFL allows us in their locker room, and why we have a relationship with the NCAA. And again, your coach can walk you through this, but this chart just shows the various products we have in that line, in the sports performance line, and how based on the type of workout you're performing, maybe you're not looking to lose a lot of weight, but maybe you're looking to add weight, to add muscle, or to lean out, tone up, get more definition. And depending on what you're doing in terms of weightlifting, cardio, if it's an endurance-based workout, if it's more high-intensity strength and conditioning, we've got products and we can put a program together for you to make sure that you are maximizing your time in the gym and you're getting everything out of the workout that you need. So if any of this looks appealing to you, if something's caught your attention and you're thinking, yeah, this is something I'm interested in, I might be interested in exploring some of these products, here's your menu of options, okay? There's really 4 different ways that you can get involved. You can get back with the person that invited you on this call, and you can purchase products retail. That's literally no different than going to your favorite store like Target, buying something off the shelf. You're just paying full price for it. The products are absolutely worth every penny of the retail cost. However, I do not recommend people do that, because you can become a wholesale customer. And in my world, I relate Advocare to other wholesale clubs that I know, like Sam's Club and Costco, quite a bit. You can become a wholesale customer for $79. For $79, you're going to get $60 worth of Spark that you can use during your 24-day challenge. And in addition to that, you're actually going to get a 20% discount off everything in the store. I showed you the weight management timeline. There's a sports performance timeline. There's over 70 products that everybody can benefit from, and you get anywhere from 20 to 30% off every product that's in the store. It's very similar to, again, Sam's Club, Costco. There's no obligation to buy. There's no minimums. There's no quotas. There's no continuing obligations. You just have access to it on your computer. You have access to your store. You go in, you order your products when you want to, by what you want, and you get your discount, and they get shipped and delivered to your front door, okay? And again, kind of going back to Target, it's like if you could go into Target and for $79 get 20% off the entire store, you know you're going to reap the benefit and the value from that. And now number 3 is very similar to number 2. It's really just kind of a different mindset, so I'm going to skip past that pretty quickly and kind of talk a little bit more about option number 4. Number 2 is really you want to be a product consumer and you want to use these amazing products at a discount. Number 3 is very similar, because you're starting to think about, okay, I want to share these with other people and help other people feel good as well, just like I do. When people are interested in that, when they're interested in pursuing this, even just from a small financial perspective, that's when number 4 becomes important, the business advisor level. That's a 40% discount on the products. Okay, that is the cheapest way to use these products, is to become a business advisor and get the 40% discount. What's the best way to do that? Becoming a business advisor and getting to that 40% discount level is a $2,100 investment for $3,000 worth of products. So obviously there's a 30% discount right off the bat. You're literally saving $900. And now when you move forward, once you make that commitment, you have a 40% discount moving forward for life with Advocare. And again, there's no continuing obligation. When I showed you those photos earlier and I showed you Shelby Andall, who's lost over 100 pounds and 60 inches, she's at this level. She is a business advisor so that she can use the products as cheap as possible. She committed to a 1-year program and she said, I'm going to use these products for a year. Why wouldn't I want to use them as cheap as possible? So she literally saved $900 right off the bat. And if she wanted to use products, if she wanted to purchase something else months down the road, she had a 40% discount to do that. Now, there's other people that look at Advocare from a business perspective. And again, I'm going to explain a little bit what that looks like and what it's done for us. And when people look at that from a business perspective, you've got to be at the business advisor level to make significant income and revenue within Advocare. Not only are you still getting the 40% discount off, but it's also allowing you to start earning income 5 different ways. And I'll walk through that a little bit here in a minute. But from my perspective, when we first started getting involved, and we were not looking at this from a business perspective, and we literally thought, all right, we want to use the products as cheap as we can. So I said, give me the maximum discount right off the bat. You know, and the reality is, quite honestly, Spark just tastes a little bit better at 40% off as opposed to 20% off. And then I also thought too, you know, if Rebecca can share this with just enough people to basically pay for our product usage and we can generate a couple $100 a month, why wouldn't I want to do that? I want her to be able to maximize her profits right off the bat. And then you see there at the bottom of the screen, there's a 12-month guarantee. So you literally have a year to return any unused products and get your money back. So when I coupled that with the fact that we didn't have no continuing obligation, I thought it's a no-risk investment. Why wouldn't we get to the business advisor level as soon as possible? And we did. We did that off 1 packet of Spark. We had tried 1 packet of Spark, and we became advisors. Now, let's talk a little bit about the timing here. And I referenced everything earlier, from college football to the SciMed board, to what we're doing to help America, you know, when it comes to financial and health-related issues. This is what all that has culminated in. When you look at this chart, it starts in 2009. If you look at the blue bar graph, in 2009, we had been around for 16 years. Remember, we're a 21-year-old company now. In 2009, we became a $100 million business. It took us 16 years to become a $100 million business. Fast forward 2 years to the right, to 2011, we hit $230 million. So we more than doubled in 2 years what it initially took us 16 years to accomplish. In 2012, we grew another 50% up to 420%, and then practically another 50% up to 620 million. And now this year, as we sit here right now, we are on pace to be approximately an $850 to $900 million company. That's why when I say we're the fastest growing company in America, over $100 million, we have grown anywhere from 35 to close to 80% over the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, guys, the growth has been phenomenal because of what we offer and how good our products are and how many people we're helping. So when you think about how many people we're helping, how do you or how does somebody else benefit from helping other people? This is the only way our products get to market, through people like me, through people like you, and other independent distributors. And the way our compensation structure is set up, and I'm not going to get into great detail with it tonight because this is not a training on the comp structure, but I'm happy to talk to anybody about it more specifically. But at a very high level, the more people you help benefit with these products, the more you earn with Advocare. And that's what this chart represents. These are our 2013, this is our 2013 income disclosure statement. This is our leadership bonus. And you can see that the entry level of leadership is a level that we refer to as silver. In 2013, all of the silvers throughout Advocare averaged $12,651. $1,000 a month. Now go back to one of those very first slides when I said the Wall Street Journal is saying that half of all Americans cannot handle an unanticipated $400 expense. If you're at that silver level of leadership and you're averaging $1,000 a month in additional Plan B or Plan C income with Advocare, you can handle that $400 unanticipated expense. So when I say this is how Advocare is helping thousands of Americans right now, this is why, because of the income opportunity. Sure, everybody can benefit from the products. Most of us can benefit from the income as well. There's very few people that you're going to bump into that are going to say, no, I'm really not interested in $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month is not going to help me and my family. You just don't hear that very often. And then obviously as somebody spends more time and they get more consistent and they're more engaged and more involved with Advocare and they start meeting more and more people and they start helping other people help people, then that's where their income starts to grow into gold, 3-star gold. You can see the average incomes at Ruby, $80,000, 6-star, $100,000, up to Emerald at almost 200, and then Diamond 650. And these numbers get pretty crazy, but they're very real. And literally right here within Nashville, Tennessee, there are 4 diamonds within a 15-mile radius of me. So when we talk about exposure and growth and what's happening and how people are taking advantage of this opportunity, there's nowhere more present than right here, right around me right now in Nashville, Tennessee. So, quick examples, people on our team. This is Dr. Grayson Woods and her husband, Russ Brown. They are silver leaders. I was just talking about that silver level, averaging a little over $1,000 a month. These two have been averaging $1,500 a month, anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month through all of 2014. Then we've got John and Stephanie Kennedy, owners of CrossFit West Nashville. They are what we refer to as gold distributors. So they're helping a few more people. They're averaging right around $2,200 a month so far this year, and they're growing very rapidly. One of their friends, one of their distributors is a local policeman, a SWAT team member named Brandon Fripp. Brandon and his wife Laura, and you can see Manning there in the picture. And actually, those 2 empty shoes have now been filled by a new little baby Owen. They are actually 3-star gold distributors, averaging close to $2,500 a month. And then you've got somebody on our team that's helping she's running a much larger organization. She's literally running $1 million business. And this is our good friend. She lives literally 10 minutes down the road from us, a former speech pathologist at Vanderbilt University. Her name's Ellie Dowling. She is what we refer to as an emerald distributor. And Ellie has been averaging anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 a month this year just because she's focused on this and she's helping people. And where this really started to benefit Ellie was last summer when she was able to walk away from Vanderbilt and literally retire to come home and be a full-time work-at-home parent because she's got 2 children, one in elementary school and one in middle school. But that's Ellie Dowling. And those are just a couple of examples of all the people on our team that are benefiting from these products, or I'm sorry, benefiting from this business opportunity. And I love this slide as I start to wrap things up here because this is everybody on our team that has earned one of those pin levels. And underneath every one of these photos is an entire team of people, an entire organization of people that are benefiting from the products. And these people are spread all throughout the country. And I just love that. And once somebody becomes an advisor, once you get to that advisor level, you're eligible for a rookie bonus. The rookie bonus is $500. And so far this year, we've had over a dozen people earn that. And you can see their names and their faces on this slide right here. But again, that literally just comes from helping other people benefit from these products. And like I showed you earlier, people want these products. People want everything that we have because they need it, they want it, they feel better. And we just essentially help people look better, feel better, or perform better. And we find them where they're comfortable and we help them use our products so that they can, again, look better, feel better, or perform better. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you've seen anything here that's caught your attention, like I mentioned earlier, you can become a distributor for as little as $79. That will get you your discount on the products, that gets you your own microsite. You can get started using the products, and quite frankly, you can start to think about, who do I know? Who do you know that could benefit from these products? Do you know anybody that needs to lose weight? Do you know anybody that's looking for a little extra income? Do you know anybody that likes to work out? Or maybe they're exhausted when they come home at night, or maybe they're even exhausted when they get up in the morning because they're not sleeping well. We can help all those people. So you can come up with a list of people. If you're interested in this at all from an income perspective, get to the advisor level as quick as possible. And guys, I'm just going to wrap things up here real quick with our story and kind of my perspective. And you can see my beautiful wife, Rebecca, on the screen now. That's our son, Brandon. He's 9. He's going to be turning 10 here in September. And this has been just an amazing journey for us. You can see we got started back in February of 2011. And when we got started, my wife was a fitness instructor, just simply looking for something to help her feel better. She was looking for some extra energy to help get her through her classes and get her through her day so that she could feel better. And I own this, guys. I was a very, very skeptical husband. I was skeptical about the products and the opportunity. I was a corporate vice president of human resources with a large manufacturing company here in. But after I tried the products, I did the challenge. I quickly became a product believer, and I watched my wife grow this business. And I watched her slowly start just by thinking, hey, if we can pay for our products, that would be phenomenal. But I watched her help more people every single day. And after we had been involved for 11 months, the income that we were earning for Advocare was routinely covering our household fixed expenses. And when it got to that point, I was a product believer. I saw the income. I saw all the credibility that I just walked you through. I saw where this company was going and what it could do for me and my family. And that's when we got very intentional about this business, which just simply means getting very intentional about helping other people. And you can see, and I should mention, you can see we started in 2011 earning $33,000. In 2012, I ended up retiring in March of 2012 and walking away from a significant income to pursue the opportunity with Advocare. And in 2012, we hit $156,000. And then in 2013, with our first full year of both of us being very intentional, we hit over $300,000. And again, like I explained, guys, that's not because we're doing anything extraordinary. We're just using these products and this opportunity. And we weren't somebody that was looking for a weight loss solution. We were not even looking for a financial solution. And it took us a while to see what Advocare could do for us. But whoa, I just skipped, there we go. It took us a while to see what Advocare could do for us. But ultimately, what we needed Advocare for was to help us get out of a time debt situation. And that's what it allowed us to do. It brought me off the road. I was working 2 or 3 weeks a month on the road, traveling honestly throughout the world with my job, and I was missing my family. And what Advocare allowed me was the opportunity to come home, actually earn more now than I did in what took me over 20 years to accumulate, or close to 20 years to accumulate in the corporate world. We've matched that and surpassed that with Advocare in 3.5 years, and we have a whole lot more time together as a family. We'll wake up tomorrow and have breakfast. We'll get our son off to school, and I'll spend the day with my wife, and we will be here when Brandon gets home at night at 4 o'clock. And that's what Advocare offered for us. Guys, I hope you saw something here tonight that appealed to you. Please reach back out to the person that invited you. Ask them questions. That's why we're here. I would love to field your questions as well. But I appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Have a great upcoming weekend, and God bless you all.